what a day. Graduation, game and tonight, and unbelievable resolve by our football team. Battered, bruised, beat up at different times, and just kept putting people in there, and they kept playing as hard as they could. And, really this win comes down to the players and the coaches. I know I'm the one that gets to come and talk to you guys, but they're the ones that put the plan together. They're the ones that executed. Was it pretty all the time? Nope. But we talked about it early, I think on Monday. We can give up all the yards we want. We got to keep them out of the end zone. We were able to do that a couple different times. We forced them to kick a field goal, forced them to fumble down on the south end. Those were critical plays during the course of the game. And I'm so excited for our young men and opportunity, and really everyone. Talk about our support people, the trainers, the strength staff, the video personnel, the people over in the dining center got to stick around now and work for the next 3 weeks. But winter camp is a super fun time here at NDSU, and I can't wait to get started on Monday.
Having Dawson Weber be the guy who made it a 6-year senior, and it seems like your secondary is something to
I think, I love Dawson, and he knows. His senior talk, he talks about the home visit I went on out in Sacramento a couple times. A kid from Sacramento, I think he won one football game his senior year of high school. And all of a sudden, man, we saw a raw, long athlete that could help us probably at receiver and or in the secondary. Was a knucklehead his first 2 years here. Probably why I have gray in my beard and gray on my head is because him and Michael Tutsi as 18 and 19-year-olds. But if it's fitting for a guy like him to be able to have a big pick to finish the game, and played really well. And the maturity that those two guys have, and the process, the leadership they provide, pretty special.
I know it's shortly after the game, but how do you describe this team to get to Frisco again with everything that's happened this year?
Great. I think they got a chip on their shoulder. I think you go back to mid-October, I think some people wrote them off, and I think they got pissed off. And so they said, we're just going to buy into everything we do. Look at the number of redshirt freshmen we're playing right now. Minus Spence and Tony, the D-line was redshirt freshmen today. You had Cole Menz making plays in the last series. Duty, Cody Heisman playing, Logan Kopp on defense. Just grit, toughness, Coach Kramer, pride and conditioning. Just everything we talk about, incremental gains. And, we were a long ways from being a finished product. We still are. Hopefully we get in a little, additional support here in the next 3 weeks.
16-0 in the first quarter. How do you it seemed like an early attempt at a knockout blow. How do you kind of recover from the start?
Well, trying just to be, last thing we could do is lose our cool on the sideline. I don't know what that would have sent the exact opposite message we needed to send at that time. We needed to find a way to get stops, points. However, we got a huge field goal. We got a big stop. And I honestly believe, it's hard to replicate game 14, that tempo. And I think it just took time for our kids to adjust to it. No different than if you're playing an option team, or it just takes time to adjust. And they did. And again, that is as good a football team offensively as I've seen. Their ability to attack every corner of the field is impressive.
Given the passing attack only got 5 yards, but the rushing attack was just so successful, how can you see that offense sort of going throughout the game?
One of the things you got to take into account is the number of passes that were called, and all of a sudden there was back to the ball defense, and Cam took off running. So at the end of the game, we were calling it on purpose. Drop back pass, run as good a routes as you can, all right, to get open, and Cam take off and go. They wanted to play man pressure every snap, and Cam did a really good job of recognizing that, bringing 4 off an edge. We got it picked up, and he took off and went that long run he had there towards the end of the game. A great example of that.
How do you see that offensive line working well against their D-line and being able to open up those holes for them?
Well, I thought second half we played much better. Early, they were jumping out of some gaps. They were giving us some fits as far as just their ability to hard charge and get off the football. They got good kids. They got great personnel over there, and we found a way. I think we settled in a little bit late, and the quarterback run game, the quarterback draw game, along with some of the design quarterback run game, hurt them late with the single high defense that they were playing every snap.
Despite all of the injuries that have been going on over the seasons with the transfers out, like what do you have to say about sort of the next man up mentality throughout the team today?
I don't want a whole lot of next man up today. We just had to get it done. So the exciting thing right now is we got 3 weeks, and I think we'll have next men up. I think there'll be some guys that get healthy, and if we'd had 1 or 2 more days, I thought we could have had some other guys back.
What was it like going coaching against Lindsey Scott Jr.?
I talked to him right there. I said, thank God you're done and you don't got an 8th year, because you are one of the best football players I've seen. And I know people asked me during the week if he compared. I think he's the best quarterback we've had to face from a dual threat standpoint.
Ever?
One that I've seen.
For you?
Yep, for me. I do. I think he's better than some other guys that we've seen. And we've seen some really good ones.
Obviously, the box score of the passing game, it doesn't look great. Is that a concern moving forward?
Well,
Just the way they were playing you?
Yeah, the way they were playing us, but Ross, I know we don't, well, yeah, oh, here we go. Man, there's probably half dozen, 3-4 drops during the course of the game. I mean, at some point, we just got to catch football, too. And so it's not all on Cam, if that's what we're looking at. We got to execute better offensively. But at the end of the day, we took advantage of what we could do and played opportunistic defense or football and complementary football.
The special teams, the long field goals, some punts that pinned deep,
Yeah.
the recovery, Jaden's return. I mean, just as a whole.
We had one big error we made on special teams. We got to clean that up. But I thought we had an advantage on special teams going into the game. I felt like it was a part of part of the game that we probably prepared a little more than they did, just from some of the things that I'd seen on film. But huge return on the punt game. Caden continues to do a great job. Again, probably had a couple that were inside the 10 today. I thought we did a good job on even Will. I mean, banging them through the end zone, a lot of touchbacks today. Just one less down we had to defend.
You talk about Kobe Johnson's performance today?
Cody, tough. I don't know how healthy he really was, but he wasn't going to tell. I mean, all I got all week was I'm fine.
Obviously, super physical game, but the mental toughness seemed to be a real factor too. What do you have to say about your players and answering the bell?
They believe. That's what we talk about it all the time. That there's something special about this group, and every team's different. And, this is a fun one to be around. They enjoy one another. They enjoy the coaches, and we get 3 more weeks, which is exciting. I know they're excited. Winter camp is pretty special here, and a lot of these guys have been fortunate to be part of numerous ones. All right, guys, have a great weekend.
Weber, go ahead with your question.
Dawson, you and Destin already had a comparison of interceptions to seal the last 2 semifinals yet?
No, we're just super excited to go to Texas and just punch our ticket tonight. It was very, very emotional, like for the both of us.
Just describe the emotions when you did make the interception and you knew that Cam was going to be able to kneel down a couple times. You're going back to Frisco.
Just all the hard work we put in. Just going to Texas was our goal at the beginning of the season, and just knowing that we're going back and knowing that people doubted us the whole season, just means a lot, man. It means a lot.
That last pass, describe circumstances with it. And, you saw him scrambling, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we were just in zone, and he scrambled to his left, so I moved to his left. I saw 16 kind of break off, and the ball seemed like it was in the air for 30 minutes, and just I jumped up when I high-pointed it and came down with it.
You got injured early in this game. Was it going to take something miraculous for you to come out of this game permanently?
It was just a little stinger. That's all it was, and he had to catch my breath for a play, and then I was back in. But yeah, it would have had to take a lot to take me out of this one.
Spencer, you all year to make a big play. You had it all season long. Describe that of just making big play after big play yourself all year long.
Just all the hard work I put in, and just I'm having the right guys around me to trust me, and just having the right team. And this is the right team, and we're going back to where we should be, and that's Texas, and we're very excited.
Spencer, you came back after the injury last year, and now you're going back to Frisco. So explain your emotions or describe how you feel right now.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to put into words. I mean, just being hurt all last season, and just kind of having to celebrate from not playing and as kind of more of a coaching role, and now to actually be on the field and, feel like I truly contributed to our team's winning and getting back. It's just, it was just something that meant a lot to me just because of all the doubt, not knowing how my knee was going to hold up, what kind of player I was going to be coming back off it. So it's just an incredible feeling.
What was it like facing that quarterback?
Not the funnest. Whenever you're playing a guy that can run around like that and can make plays with his legs, it really kind of dictates what kind of pass rush moves you can throw. And we knew if we got too high, he'd step up through the B gaps and take off downhill. And so we tried to limit that as much as we could. And I felt kind of as a D-line, we did a good job at that today.
I feel like you're the last man standing with some of your teammates leaving the game. It was a really young defensive line at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's next man up mentality, and the guys that did get kind of thrown into the fire there late, I thought they played great and were able to execute their job at a high level, and so it's just all we can ask of them.
What did you find defensively in the second quarter? You seemed you guys got your footing after what happened there? What adjustments were you making?
Yeah, I mean, it's every team when they come out, they're going to throw everything they got at us, give us their best shot. So we had to make some adjustments on the sideline, and once we did, we were able to kind of figure out what we needed to do, and then just kind of we were able to tee off in the pass rush a little bit and slow down the run game. So that was big.
Cam, two for two going to Frisco as a starting quarterback. Your thoughts on today?
It feels great. But I don't even know what to say. I mean, these guys fought so hard today. And, people ask me all the time, some of these upperclassmen ask the true freshmen, what does it mean to be a Bison? What does Bison pride mean to you? And that out there is Bison pride. Offense picking up the defense and defense picking up the offense, and people picking me up when I'm not playing my best. And I think that's really what boosted us. People didn't get down on each other when we were down 16-0. We kept fighting, and I'm so damn proud to be a part of this program.
What were they doing defensively, Cam, that really made it struggles in the passing game specifically?
I really don't think they did anything that special. I was just missing. I didn't have a very good game passing, and I told the coaches on the headset, I said, I'm not throwing the ball well. I said, you got to use my legs just to kind of get me in the rhythm of the game. I love just, carrying the football. I think it gets me into the game more.
One of 12 for 5 yards, I think, was your final stat line.
Mm-hmm.
If we would have said that to you before the game,
With the win.
With the win, right? That's the point. What would you have thought if we had said that was going to be your game before the game?
As long as we won, I could care less. As long as we win, I don't care if I throw 5 picks or if I go 0 for 50. These guys have my back, and that's all that matters.
What did you find in the running game? Obviously, early it seemed like whatever they're doing was clogging it up, but it seemed you guys.
I think we were just kind of feeling it out a little bit in the first quarter, just seeing how they aligned to different formations and different looks, and we kind of exposed them in the second half because of how we set them up in the first half.
Spencer, if I would have told you they would have had 94 plays, 539 yards of offense, would you think you guys would have won the football game?
It's hard to win games like that, but I mean, we also have had how many turnovers we have? 2, 3?
4.
So 4? Oh, well, that helps makes up for a lot of that.
Dawson, I'm pretty sure I just heard you call Cam a dog over there, and he was absolutely had the dog in him tonight. What's it like knowing you got a quarterback out there that's going to be able to be a warrior in that way?
He's just the leader of this team, man. Like, we go as Cam goes, and he knows that everybody on defense and offense got his back, and we'll ride for him any day of the week. And I just love having him as my quarterback, and I know I wouldn't change it for the world.
Some frustration early, Cam. You get the muff punt and get a 2-yard field and end up settling for a field goal. And we just try to describe fighting through some of that stuff that happened early.
I think we were a little frustrated at the end of the first quarter because I don't think we had a first down at that point. And I just reminded the guys, we had been down to Indiana State and teams that we were better than earlier this year, and we came back in the second half and really fought. And that's what we showed in the second quarter is we really came out, started moving the football, and we started to, get Mo on our side.
Yeah, what really changed with this team after the loss to SDSU or the bye week? What happened here over the last half of the season to get you guys here?
I think I had said this after the loss against South Dakota State. This could be the best. That game could have been the best thing for us. I think it brought us closer together, and these guys would die for one another, and I would die for any one of these guys.
whole table here, but how important was mental toughness to come back from that 16-0 deficit and pull it out?
Yeah, I mean, it's something we always talk about, that, bend, don't break. We know that offense was going to pick it up, and, we were going to be able to lean on them, and we knew as defensively we were going to, clean up our mistakes and be able to get stops and get off the field. So it was just one of those things we were going to play off one another and, rely on the offense, rely on the defense, rely on special teams, and, come out with a win.
Dawson, Coach Entz mentioned that you felt like you were a knucklehead the first 2 years here. You might be responsible for some of the gray hairs in his beard and on his head, but now 6 years after coming here, to end your Fargo Dome career like that, it's got to be pretty poetic.
Yeah, it's very emotional, like in a positive way. I came a long way personally, and just like the steps I've taken to get to where I'm at today has been huge for me. And I'm just excited that we're going to Texas, and we got one more opportunity. We have 3 more weeks with this group, and I'm just ready for winter camp.
Do you feel like the breaks can help you, or you might actually get some guys back? I mean, does that just welcome that 3-week break, I guess, Dawson?
Yeah, I think the break will definitely allow some guys to get healthy. Those guys that will get healthy will stay in-house, and we'll figure out who's going to be ready to go for a championship game. But just having this break and having these 3 weeks off to prepare and to really hit winter camp like on a grind, and knowing that Christmas is canceled now, it's very exciting.
Cam, you know each of the teams playing tomorrow fairly well. Is there any excited interest in watching that game play out tomorrow?
I'm excited to watch it. I feel like I'm going to enjoy this win for the next 2 to 3 days, and we'll get back to work and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Thanks, guys.